Continuing our discussion of frameworks and models, let's examine the stride and attack surface modeling techniques. We'll continue our discussion of attack surfaces, which we introduced a little earlier, and look at the stride threat model. STRIDE is an acronym. It stands for spoofing, tampering, repudiation, information disclosure, denial of service, and escalation of privilege. Consideration of STRIDE helps us understand how the attacker will come after us, our data, and our application. Spoofing means assuming the identity of the client, the user, or a system, falsifying who you are. Tampering means modifying data, contrary to our goal of integrity. Repudiation means refuting a legitimate transaction or denying that you took an action. Information disclosure, simple, leakage of information. Denial of service goes against our goal of availability, making the system unavailable or unuseful to authorized users. An elevation of privilege involves elevating privilege above that which the user is authorized, violating that principle of least privilege. Countermeasures that we can impose for the STRIDE threats. For spoofing, we normally counter by requiring the user to authenticate, to identify themselves, and to prove their identity with something they know or something they have. Tampering, I can detect with hashing or with digital signatures. Repudiation, we counter with logging, making records of transactions that can be reviewed and compared against a user's report or attempt to repudiate. Information disclosure, we protect data at rest and data in transit through content encryption or transmission encryption. Denial of service is the most difficult thing to defend against availability. All you can really do is plan defense in depth and hope the attacker doesn't defeat your defenses. For elevation of privilege, we require the user to authenticate, and then we control their access based on that authentication. We authorize them based on the principle of least privilege and control their access. The attack surface, as we described previously, considering something simple like a basketball, is a method to analyze where the attacker will come after us. So not the how that the threat model gives us, but the where, exactly what they will attack. And we want to analyze our attack surface in the design phase of our SDLC and minimize it to reduce the attack points that the attacker has access to. This is not really a new idea. Various militaries around the world have used this technique called intelligence preparation of the battlefield for many, many years to understand and model the terrain, what they're defending, how the attacker must attack, to monitor those critical points and to mount their defenses. For the attack surface, we consider the data, the method, and the channel. The data is the data itself. The method is the program code which manipulates it. And the channel is how it is transmitted. So if we combine the attack surface model, data, method, and channel with the STRIDE threat model, we can see not only what can be attacked, but how. Minimize the attack surface and mount defenses against the threats. The mobile attack surface creates or really exposes some new and different challenges. My data now is mobile and accessible. If it's stored on removable memory like an SD card, it must be explicitly protected. The method is now exposed. The application code is running on the handheld, perhaps in the hands of the attacker. The application programmer interface is thus explicitly documented, And the channel now traverses over wireless media. Remember, if you can hear my voice, you're in radio range and you can access the media. So the channel provides additional challenges. It's not just HTTP. We also have to consider SMS and MMS, near field communications, Bluetooth, Bluetooth low energy, GPS, and possibly others that might come along in the future. This is extremely difficult to test comprehensively. Thank you.